Welcome to Learn Automotive. In this video, I'm going to talk about the important and interesting term that is torque. The reason behind torque plays a crucial role is it is a basic term that makes your vehicle to propel or that propels your vehicle to move. Alright, so that is what it's very important to understand about the torque being automotive engineer. So the agenda in this video that I'm going to talk is what is torque is a generic, then how the torque relates in the automotive industry or the automotive cars or any vehicles. Then third is the unit of car as the explanation. If time permits, we'll discuss about the torque in the different vehicles. If not, we'll put in the upcoming videos. All right, so let me start with the torque. What exactly the torque is? So whenever I get the term torque, I used to remember my past. The reason is in my childhood days we used to enter into the in the children's park with my friends. So everyone start to occupy the seats in the spinning wheel. It will looks like this. So what happens, all used to sit like 4 or 5, they used to sit and I am the one need to push. So yes, of course it will be keep on around. So the first turn, say for example, I remember that I have pushed very hard to make it rotate because all of my friends has been occupied the space. What happened, I have to push and I have to make the complete spin wheel to rotate. So just imagine the ratio will be 1:6. I am 1 and they are 5. Apart from that, the weight of the spinning wheel will be 1 or 2 with my with more than my weight. So I have to push very hard. So the very hard I have to push to 3 to 4 rounds. I have to push very hard, and what will happen is after 4 or 5th round, the wheel will automatically it starts to rotate by itself. I just want to give a very little amount of force. So in this story, whatever the force I'm giving is called torque. So the force I'm trying to rotate the spin wheel, that is called torque. So you can easily now correlate whenever the object is in a stationary. If you want to make the stationary object to the motion, then there is rest to motion, that is called the high torque. That is initially we have to give very high torque, right? So when it is in a same posture, we have to make it to move. So at the time it will take more torque, and when it starts to rotate, yes, of course we have to give very less torque, that is more than enough. So that is the same concept that has been implied in the automotive industry. So here consider this is a wheel, and for this wheel we have all the interconnections, like we have in a previous video we have discussed. From the engine we have a transmission, we have a differential axle from the wheels. So this wheel will get the torque from the engine, and initially when the wheel is in rest, the vehicle wants to move the wheel in a circular direction, so it has to generate high torque. So as much high torque it generate will make the vehicle to move, and once it keep on running, then the torque keeps on reduce. So at the time there will be not required, more torque is not required. There are very less torque is more than enough to make the vehicle to move, or it make it to continue. So that is the reason that in the first gear we have very high torque, second gear the torque will be lesser, and third, fourth and top gear will have very less torque. All right, so this is how the torque has been implied in the automotive cars. So not only cars, it's almost all the vehicles. Even the bike we have the same concept has been implied. And one more thing is, if we keep on talk about torque. See, now I said the spinning wheel I have pushed with my hand, so the torque I am giving from my hand to the wheel. But just imagine in a car where the torque will generate. So that's the main question. So people have different opinions and different answers, like shafts or wheels. It's not. So the exact place where the torque has been generated is the crankshaft. So the crank has been given in the engine, the below the cylinder. That's what there we have the torque has been generated. So this torque will keep on given to the transmission, to the differentials, to the axles, and finally to the wheels. There will be a transmission loss, then the torque will be lesser. But the origin of the torque is this place, that you have to remember. All right, so now we have completed the 2 points on what exactly the torque is. Of course now you are very familiar with the torque, so now you can easily correlate everywhere, like whatever, like even your fan or your grinder or whatever the rotating thing that you are giving the force, that is called torque. So now we are giving the force, right? So force is one factor which comes in the unit. So the unit of the torque is equal to force into Newton, force into distance, that is Newton. For force we can give Newton as a standard, and length we can give a meter. Even we can give a pounds also, pounds into meter we can give, so anything, but Newton meter is a standard. And in the next video we will discuss about the derivation of this, so that not derivation is not so hectic, you don't want to scare. It's very simple derivation that make you understand how the torque implies. Alright, so as of now, just remember the unit of the torque is Newton into meter. Newton is the force that I am giving, and the meter is the distance from the center of the point to the point where I am pushing. So what relation between the center of the point and wherever I push, the force will be same, right? No, that's exactly not. Whenever the length keep on increases, the force what we can give, that can be reduces. That means if I goes very closer to this spin wheel, it's very hard for me to make it rotate. That's our reason that I have to come out as much I can, and I can push. All right, so that's what the reason length also matters here. So the unit of the torque is Newton into meter, so Newton meter. All right, the next one is different cars. Say for example, we have a Mercedes-Benz, we have a BMW, we have Maruti, right? So we have all the variants, like 3 variants. Let's say we have another one, Hyundai Kona Electric. All right, so we have the 4 cars. So let's look into the specification. What are these cars are giving the range of torque. All right, so we'll discuss in the next video with the specification, so that it will be really helpful for you to understand the system level knowledge. And not we should not sit completely with the software, or we should not completely sit with some other things. Apart from that, if you read the real time specification, you can really get as much as knowledge that more than you are reading from your books. All right, so in the next video, don't miss it. We'll see about the specification with respect to the torque with the different cars, and it will be really helpful for make you understand more with the torque. And also we'll see about the the derivation of the torque. So I hope you learned at least a bit. If it is really yes, keep on watch our channel, and I'll get back to you on the next video. Until then, bye, take care.